starts. Like you've got this great story where you talk about being in the airport and you bump into a fellow comedian. He's buying a Father's Day card.
Yeah.
And he basically asks you, are you getting a Father's Day card? And you realize you've never bought a Father's Day card.
Never.
But what I found funny in that moment is like you start talking about how limited Father's Day cards are. You know, it's like best dad ever to the man who taught me how to fish. You know, to my favorite camping buddy. And then Roy's like, where's the one where it's like, I didn't really know you, but if I did, I guess it might have been great.
Yeah.
Like, where's...
We're the genuine ones.
Yeah. Like,
where's the genuine?
You know what I mean? And, like, from that moment, I was just like, man, we're in for a journey on this.
So if this was the Daily Show, I'd be like, I'd like to talk to the greeting card industry to understand why. Who writes the greeting cards? Who sets up the narrative that fatherhood is always perfect and not stressful? Because like even with Mother's Day, there's always, we had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
Mom,
No, it's way
you're
more,
still the best.
It's sentimental.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think, look, if I was to guess, I would say the reason for that is because of what you've sort of written about, is because most fathers don't have sentimental, and I say most, and people be like, oh, where do you get your numbers? I'm guessing. Probably the times we've lived through, the times we're in. But I don't know many people where they can truly say that their fathers have been sentimental with them. So when you're buying your dad a Father's Day card, you're buying him Father's Day card because they told you it's Father's Day for the most part, right? But
And a small minority as well.
Exactly. But when you look at like moms and women, they've generally lived in a world of like actually expressing the sentimentality, the feeling, how they, like, I'll give you a simple example. When I was flying from South Africa back to New York, my mom said to me, I always go say goodbye to her, before I travel. And then my mom said to me something that I was like, this is too beautiful for a human. She said to me, please send me a picture of the first flower you see when you get to New York. And I was like, damn. It was such a like she said, please send me a flower of the first picture you see in New York. Now, I didn't realize how few flowers there are when she said that. No, I genuinely did. It was like land at Newark, drive in, like, man, there's no flowers. But besides the point, it was such a sentimental, soft, it wasn't like, all right, kid, you go out there and you work hard. You do your best, you hear?
Yeah.
You know?